Soften your senses. Ways to become a better speaker, listener, and follower. This episode brought to you by GW Berkheimer and First Supply, distributors that are focused on training the next generation of technicians. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining Did You Know? The ESCO HVAC podcast. So we're hanging out at the 2024 National HVACR Education Conference. We're having such an amazing time. I'm hanging out with Thom Hardy, hanging out with Troy Rybicki, and we are getting ready to just blow your minds.
About that.
All right, what are we talking about?
Was that Paul Schaefer and the band on that? Oh, okay.
I don't know. I wasn't sure who that was. That's pretty good jive, though.
Yeah.
I like that jive a lot.
Soundtrack.
Right.
Is that available? Apple Tunes?
No, it comes loaded on the Rode Podcaster Pro 2 by Rode.
Oh,
It's available on all local.
AV stuff.
So where
Radio
was I at?
What about the educators conference?
Oh yeah.
How exciting is this?
Oh my gosh.
Great turnout.
I was blown away.
Right. All right. I'm gonna put the serious face on.
Okay.
Yes.
I got a face for radio. Do you know that?
You do? You've only done it 100,000 times.
Only
I got a face for books.
So we are at the National HVACR Education Conference, and there's about 1,200 people that is hanging out, trying to focus in on all of the craziness that's happening in our industry and getting prepared for transitions in technologies and transitions in refrigerants, and really just kind of gathering to talk.
Yeah.
Right. So guys, let's talk a little bit about the industry and things that are important that we need to kind of keep our community, because we really are a community. We're just a big community of people that are serving other people. It's kind of, yeah, we do. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So where do we begin?
Well, you know what? We got a lot of new educators in the conference this year,
Yes.
which is a great sign. You're getting many more people that are getting active.
Yes.
And making a big difference in the industry. We've been trying to get, not necessarily recruit, but get more people involved.
Yes.
And it's nice to see that we're getting like a whole new generation of educators that are
feel like
willing
it's
to
generation.
take and run with this next level.
Yeah. Absolutely. Are you seeing the same thing? Huh?
I am. It's like a pyramid scam.
Yeah.
We get one person, and that person recruits two more people, and those people recruit two more people. Next thing you know, we don't have a shortage anymore. We don't have overage.
How about that?
That would be cool.
Is it? I mean, really? I mean, when we think about it, it could be that simple, honestly. If we can each convince two people of how good this industry actually is, and then all of a sudden, man, I want to be a piece of that.
Well, look at it. Your first 4 years, you're in the positive year one, whereas if you were to go to a 4 years college, you're in the negative year one.
I know.
And by the time that 4 years ends, you are double the advantage than that person is.
Yeah. You know, I've got two stepdaughters at home right now. One of them just finished high school. She's in her freshman year at college. The other one's a sophomore in high school. And they actually had two different perspectives because I think we're seeing that transition. So the one really wanted to go to college because it was a specific job that she was interested in that required college. The other one is really not too interested in college, wants to make a difference in the world, but realize that college is probably not their path. And the interesting thing about both of them is they both say, if I didn't have to go to college, I don't know that I would. So the one says, I'm going because I need to, not necessarily because I feel like it is the right thing to do. The most important thing that I want to do is make a difference in the world around me. And so for me, I see that and I go, that's what we have.
Yeah.
We have generations, and they're right there in between that Z and Alpha, right?
Yeah.
And so that's almost two generations that are both saying the exact same thing. I want to make a difference in the world around me. And are there other avenues? So it's not like they're challenging society. They're
Absolutely.
just asking.
Absolutely. You know, and I think when I got started and just really what I liked about it was part of the STEM program.
Yes.
And that's mainly science and math.
Yeah.
Those are the two powerful aspects of my life. And so when you have the opportunity to go through some type of tech school and then get the information, but it's the technology, it's the equipment, and then it's all the other aspects that we learn when we're working with education. And so that's one of the biggest things that I've always enjoyed is I still today learn much more information by teaching.
Yeah.
Because we're not only just sharing the information in the industry, but we're learning about their learning habits, their learning styles. What can they pick up and what can they provide as far as retaining that information?
Man, absolutely it is.
Well, I mean, if you look at it now, I mean, a lot of celebrities or a lot of people out there, mentors or whatever it is now starting to push the trades a little bit. Mike Rose doing a great job out there.
Absolutely. I wrote him a letter.
Did you?
Oh, absolutely, I did.
Did he respond?
No, not yet. But I'm hoping he hears this podcast and he does.
Keep doing it.
Yeah. Because I mean, he's kind of an idol of mine. I mean, he's doing what we need.
Yes,
So-
I mean he's actively pushing for it. So yesterday in my session, I asked, and who's been to a 4-year college or whatnot, and I think it was only like 10%. Only 10% answer, rose their hand on that.
Yeah.
So it was a good thing. Our industry, we have two great things going for it. We're recession proof,
Oh my goodness, yeah.
and we're also event proof per se. Doesn't matter what happens. Everybody still needs comfort.
Yep.
They still need cooling. Refrigerations need refrigerating. And it can't go to IA.
No,
Our job will not be taken over
our jobs
by
will
IA.
never be replaced. AI might complement our work, but it will never replace our work. And that's a beautiful thing to be involved with. 'Cause think about how many people in the world are struggling with that right now. Think about how many people in the IT industry are going, am I going to have a job in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? And then you look at our industry and you go, I know I am.
And it is a career. And when you think about the opportunity, there's no other really better career option than HVAC. There's so much that you can do. You're dealing with personal soft skills and you're developing relationships. And one of the most gratifying part in the industry that I like the most is when we are actually helping people resolve issues and resolve problems. And they run into all these challenges and we can provide options and different types of things that they can do to utilize and develop their skills, whether it's electrical, whether it's plumbing, or whether it's sheet metal or anything like that. They can really take it and run, and then there's like unlimited what you can do. And even when the economy does change, our industry stays pretty strong and reliable.
Well, not only that, look at our jobs, what we deal with out there. We are essentially electricians, plumbers, framers. We know every aspect. We touch upon every aspect of the building process or the trades. If we, at some point in our career, just realize that the mechanical trade's not for us, we've already got our toes dipped and experienced in every one of those trades. So we can go start pulling wire. We could be an electrician, or we could do plumbing, or, anything that we want. We've got that aspect.
A lot of times I talk to people who have came into our industry from other industries, and it's typically the same response that I get from them. I got stale in what I was doing, and I've never heard that from an HVAC person. I've never heard that they're stale. And that's so true. We had a earlier conversation about the different paths and the different avenues that heating, ventilation, air conditioning, refrigeration, building sciences, industries provide, because we're all like on this great big tree. Jason Objute came up with this tree a while back we were talking about, and he's like, all right, so we got all these different pieces that are coming to the industry. They're just new growth on some existing branch, and all these different branches are just part of this tree. And so if we don't like the branch that we've landed on, we literally just go to another branch, and we were already in the right environment. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's the best analogy I've heard to who we are, because if we get stale, what do? We go find a different piece of the thing that we're already a part of.
Yeah. And when you adapt to the different technology, and there's a big difference between mechanics that are mechanical, and then there's technicians that work with technology. And so that's one of the greatest things, is that there's always something new, something that you can adapt to. And it gives that challenge. It's never a dull moment. There's always new challenges. There's new requirements that we can develop and learn more about, not only the product, but way the economy is changing, and then what are some of the needs and wants that the consumers want that we can provide them with that type of service. And that's powerful, really powerful.
It is. Yeah. I see myself sometimes starting a class out talking on the technical stuff and then end up on the business end of it. Telling someone, I'm not telling, but helping someone develop their business just a little bit more to become a little tiny bit profitable more. Because again, their success leads to my success also. And, to create job security for myself, it is making sure that that person is extending his career or her career, opening a shop, hiring more people, bringing them in for training. I see it now. There's so much more desire for training now. I get people calling up asking, when are we going to have a class? I'd like to do this. I'd like to do that. It's becoming so much more. It's actually fun.
Yeah.
It's fun again to train.
I feel like 2024, we've said this in a few of our podcasts, I feel like 2024 is going to be the most interesting year in our industry in quite a long time.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
Everyone has something to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has something that they need to learn. And now we get these opportunities to start connecting with people we may not have connected with in the past. And it's like our tree just keeps growing and growing and growing.
And through the years, when you're starting off at a much younger age and you've got your mentors, people that have been in the industry for decades, right?
Right.
And the influence that they put on us. And now we're in that position. We've actually taken over for the next generation that's coming through. So we're just kind of sharing and riding along on that wave. And it's incredible because it gives us the ability to take what we know and share with them. So it makes their life a little bit easier, but it also provides them that challenge, so they can take it to the next level. And that's one of the things that I think, when you think about providing a service. And so we not only sell the product, but we offer support for that product. And so when somebody has a problem and I'm not there, I can't see what they're working on. So by just communicating and talking to them and asking them informative information, and then I can visualize what they've got. And then I could say, let's try this. Let's see what this does. All right. Well, maybe this is where we need to go. We don't need to waste time on this. And next thing you know, it only takes a few minutes, but you walk them through that process. You give them a starting point, and then they say, you know what, this isn't that bad. And I said, you fixed it. And he goes, well, you helped me, but no, you fixed it. I just guided you, And so together we were able to achieve that. And that's a great feeling.
Yeah. And it's really, well, going back to what Troy said, at times it's kind of dumbfounding to find out that Troy and I are considered mentors. Of two of the people in this industry, I would never think that Troy and I would actually be considered a mentor. But I want to go a little deeper into what he was saying when he's like, tell me what you're seeing. We need to teach humility also.
It's a big factor.
Knowing when to say either A, I'm over my head, or B, I'm lost. Yeah. And this is actually what I'm getting. I'm a true believer of job site sheets. Give me a job site sheet and let me see the numbers you got. And the words good and 3.5 for my gas pressure, perfect superheat, perfect pressures is not really doing you any good by just listing it and still having a problem.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And you ask them for information and they don't have it. And that's one of the reasons why they can't really thoroughly understand what's going on or what needs to be done. So when you walk them through that process and show them how important data is, and when you get that information and you see the numbers, then you can understand why it's doing what it's doing or how you can actually manipulate the system to make it work even better. And so, it gets to the point where there's nothing that we have not seen before.
Yeah.
So there's nothing that we haven't been able to resolve.
Yeah.
And so through that experience, you don't want to just give them the answer. You want to kind of help them struggle a little bit. So it means a little bit more. Yeah. And then when they get over that hill, they get over that crest and they see that sense of accomplishment. It's a tremendous feeling of experience and just having that knowledge that makes it easier the next time they have to run into something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Clifton, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What was your greatest feeling as a service tech?
oh man, just fixing something that was broken and knowing that somebody else was going to enjoy something and they didn't have to know that I fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Making something work that was broken. And like, honestly, the best feeling in the world for me was in commercial refrigeration. So I was a mobile engineer in grocery stores and I ran my butt off. I mean, like my last on-call shift, I had 95 and a half hours clocked and I had 3,000 miles in 1 week and I loved it. I loved that feeling. And the part that was so good was to walk into a grocery store and see an entire wall of refrigeration down and that department empty because no one was buying, people weren't getting their food, right? And then you fix it, you hang out, you watch pressures, keep an eye on things, you watch the rack recovering. And as soon as you start seeing that rack recovering on the E2 and you pack your tools up and you walk out and they're restocking the shelves. And as they're restocking the shelves, people are gathering back in. You go, I just help provide your food for your family.
How cool is that? That's a nice feeling.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I mean, and I think everybody in this conference would have a similar, feeling on that, taking something that's broken and fixing it.
Yeah.
And when I ask people, why have you gone from the field to training? And surprisingly, the answer is not because I was getting old and I couldn't do it anymore.
No.
It's because I had too much to offer by sharing my experience.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
What if there was no information resources?
Mm-hmm.
And so at one point you're limited to your capability.
Yeah.
You're limited to really knowing what the product is supposed to be doing and how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
Where today you have all these resources, whether it's a video, whether it's a audio podcast, and it's just unlimited amount of information that is so helpful because you can pick up
all the pieces you need
of information that could be so beneficial and you don't realize it.
Yeah.
But then when you run into it later and then you can apply it, and it's something that maybe it takes a long time to figure it out, but then once you go through that process, you'll never forget it. And now you've got that ability to be a little bit more productive in resolving those issues.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you guys. Man. And to think we didn't know what we were going to talk about.
And just to think, if this would have happened in the 80s, if we would have had this technology in the 80s, we probably would not have a shortcoming.
No, we wouldn't be in this situation.
No.
So you've been around long enough. How many different types of organizations, trade organizations like ESCO and all these other organizations, how important is it that they come together and work as a team to provide?
Monumental.
Yeah.
I seen at this conference manufacturers that I've never seen here before.
Yeah.
I seen trade organizations that I've never seen here before. I seen certification companies that have never been here before. I seen distributors. I seen contractors. I seen young educators. So I think we're here. I think this is the time in our industry for it to happen.
Yeah. I think we started going in an uphill climb.
Yeah, I do too.
Just to keep that going uphill and not go down.
Yeah,
is the key.
Yeah, it is.
And to get a jump on it, to work with the manufacturer so that we can understand the technology a little bit better.
Yeah.
Then that gives us the ability to make sure that the equipment is installed properly, it's set up properly, it's operating that it needs, because it's not just functional, right?
Yeah.
It's more of comfort and efficiency that is one of the leading driving factors in our HVAC industry. And that's really what a lot of this new generation is picking up and moving with. And I'm so pleased to see that they are capable of doing that and they're willing to take that initiative. That's pretty cool.
Awesome. Awesome party. Troy Rybicki.
Clifton, thank you.
I am so grateful for you guys. A lot of fun. Awesome. I know. Look, man, the classes are out and they are rushing through the floodgates, heading on to the next class, the next opportunity to meet and mingle with people. And yeah.
Thank you so much. That was awesome.
All right. We'll see you all later.